What is the doctrine of equitable conversion on the MBE? Have you ever wondered how ownership works in real estate transactions before the closing? The doctrine of equitable conversion is key to understanding this. It plays a significant role in real property law, especially on the Multistate Bar Examination. So, what exactly is this doctrine? At its essence, the doctrine of equitable conversion comes into play once a binding contract for the sale of land is signed. From that moment, the buyer is treated as the equitable owner of the property, even though the seller still holds legal title until the closing takes place. This means that while the seller retains legal title, it is essentially held in trust. This trust serves as security for the payment of the purchase price, which becomes the seller's equitable interest. In simpler terms, the buyer has an equitable interest in the land, while the seller has an equitable interest in the money they will receive. This principle is rooted in the idea that equity regards as done that which ought to be done. So, when the contract is signed, the buyer's interest is treated as real property, and the seller's interest shifts to personal property. One important aspect of this doctrine is the risk of loss. If the property is damaged or destroyed after the contract is signed but before closing, the buyer bears the risk. This means that even if the property is damaged, the buyer must still pay the full contract price. The seller continues to hold legal title as security for the purchase money. Another critical point is what happens if either party dies between signing the contract and closing. If the seller passes away, their heirs inherit the right to the purchase price, not the property itself. Conversely, if the buyer dies, their heirs inherit the equitable interest in the real property. Understanding the doctrine of equitable conversion is essential for tackling real property questions on the Multistate Bar Examination. This doctrine affects various scenarios, including risk of loss, inheritance rights, and the timing of ownership interests. By grasping these concepts, you can approach MBE real property questions with confidence.